concepts for the Metaverse style artwork that is soon to be coming. Um, this is the second part to the first video that I did, where I am creating an image based off of realistic images and infusing my artwork into the actual picture. So we'll get to it. Let's get started, guys. Let me pull y'all up to see. I want to make sure that I can see you guys' comments. Hey, don't come back here with all that screaming, man. Hey, I'm live. Go. 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 I'm on a live video. Go out. That way, man. All right. Get out with all that screaming. Man. Sorry, guys. As you know in the first one, it's exactly how I went the first time. So, let's go over, let's click live. So I can get this up here. Got it. All right, let's get in here. Let's do it. So, this is what we had from the previous time while I was working this background that I took. And I think I might be switching this up because I got a better background that I found, or not that I found, but that I took over the weekend. That's, you know, I really got a personal attachment to, so I think that'll help this picture to come to life. But let's get started. We're gonna be going in and doing a whole lot more shading with this character here. Start up here. And really, this whole picture, hold on. All right. This brush is harsh. It's harsh. It's because I got to take it down. So I'm going to take it down around, I'm going to go with around 24, 25 like I did the last time. And you know what? Let's do it like this. So when I created this, the other day, I went with this solid background, but I didn't give this any structure. So with me not having a good sturdy background, once I get rid of the white, that's gonna be it. The white is just gonna be gone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in, grab a nice gray, and we're gonna create a back layer for this. So this thing could sit, so it can sit in here. We won't have to worry about losing the structure once I remove the black or the white background. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna boost this up, and we're just gonna make this happen. Let's bring this back up 100%. Fine brush going now, so I can give me a nice smooth movement out of this thing. Actually, let's take that off too, so we can get a direct match to the edge of my brush here. So all we doing is we're gonna create a back layer, so I'm not doing so much shading that it's wasting time. And then and that we'll just put a dot there, and then we'll trim out what's not needed. Any areas where I have overage, I'm just gonna chop it. So tell me, how y'all doing today? How's everybody out there doing? It's a good day, bad day? Woke up on the good side of the bed? Me, I always wake up kind of funny because my kids are in my bed every morning before I wake up, and for those that have kids, you know how that could be. When you don't wake up in a peaceful state due to noise, or being cramped up or pushed into an uncomfortable position and having to fight your way, in your own bed, it just gets a little annoying sometimes, right? But that's okay though. They'll get over that phase, And remember, I have the toddlers, but I think as they get older, they'll break out of that. Coming and jumping in the bed with us 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and messing up the whole comfort zone, Yep. And we're gonna kind of work this a little fast, The first video was 2 hours long, and it was a little drawn out. And I realized that we are in an age where people can't sit still that long to actually see what you're working. So you kind of have to get to the point rather quick these days, or you'll lose people's attention. And it wasn't my intention to lose people's attention, but I lost 50% of the crowd before the first 5 minutes of the video due to the slowness of the process. In this process, it really could be slow, and it goes back to how harsh you're using your tones and the thickness in your brush and all of that, and all of that takes time. In the first video, I was talking about how or not in the first video, I have a tutorial that I was working on where I was going over the shortcut keys for Photoshop. And in this program, you have amazing shortcut keys, and I really love the structure of how they put the shortcut keys, and you can reassign them if you like. But I think it's awesome to learn the shortcut keys because it chops down on that time. And if you're gonna be doing videos like these, tutorials, on the spot videos, that you kind of minimize the time that you would use traveling across the screen to get new tools and stuff. And knowing those short keys will get you in the right area, without taking up so much time that you're losing people. So that's a pretty good video that I was working on. Still haven't totally finished it, edited it or anything. Or just kind of working out the kinks of everything and kind of getting everything started. I took a nice little while away from graphic design to pursue other careers, and I'm kind of being led back to doing this. This is really what I was passionate about, and you know, passionate about doing art, but in my time doing this, it wasn't beneficial to me, So I had to do something else to provide for my family. But there comes a time where you have to make a decision, between doing what you like and not making as much money, or, doing what you don't like but making the money. And there's a lot of people in this world that just go to work because they're trying to make it, as far as bills. And that's like that's a wrong reason to do anything. All in all, you're not really free. And in this lifetime, you want to be free. The ultimate goal is that you create an environment for yourself where you can enjoy life for what it is, And it's not just this everyday wake up, hustle and bustle that's gonna yield to you being all tired out in your 50s and 60s, and you're like so drained from work that and doing things that you are not interested in, that you just end up lost. You know what I'm saying? You end up with a not fulfilling life. And come on, do right by me. I'm working on a new keyboard. I have one coming in the mail. This keyboard here just gives me so much grief. It's not it doesn't benefit me. It's got so much lag to it, and so I'll be correcting that. All right. Right there. This right here. All right, so there's so many ways to do this stuff that I'm doing right now. There's so many ways to get it done, but it goes down to whatever makes you happy. Whatever technique you're comfortable with is the one that you want to go with. in the end of the day. So let's do that. We'll do this. Put that. And remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. You know, if you guys are like going along with me, following along with this, your lines, they don't have to be perfect, because at the end you're gonna end up cutting and cropping out what's left. You know, you're gonna end up getting rid of a lot of that. Ooh, we didn't want to do that. See, that's the keyboard doing that to me. See, the keyboard is doing this to me. It doesn't want to stay keyed in to what I'm trying to toggle. Alright, so we're going to go back on this. I'm going to get rid of these blurs that I created on the edges here. It seems like every time I choose to go live, that's when the kids go crazy out there. And no matter how much I try, I can't get away from it. I try to do a little something here, and I try to be with the kids, and it's just never the right time. I know a lot of you can relate to that, where it seems like it's just never a time for the things that you are working on, the things that you need to get done in your life, you know. I want to encourage you all to push through those moments in your life where it seems like you're sacrificing things for your circumstances, you know. You don't want to be sacrificing valuable things, you know. And I'll draw the conclusion that there are some things that you gotta sacrifice, and then there are other things that have extreme value that you can't afford to sacrifice. And so you have to take the time to build yourself. You know, you have to take that time, and you gotta find that balance. You know, you really do have to find a balance. Some people, they don't know how to find that balance. And that balance, you know, that balance could give you the freedom that you're looking for if you just learn it, you know. If you know, you have to be brave in your intentions and the things that you really are trying to accomplish. And you can't let nothing stop you. You can't let anything stop you or hold you down. If I can give the greatest advice, it would be that, and it's probably been said before, but you can never fail if you never quit. You know, and you can never succeed if you never sacrifice anything. There's always going to be something that you don't want to do, or something you're afraid to do, that you're going to have to do in order to get the results that you want. Because remember, everything that we do is based out of whether we are brave about it or fearful of it, you know. Being fearful causes us to be comfortable in our little space, and Therefore, we don't do things that we need to do to get different results. So sometimes you gotta get a little uncomfortable. You gotta, put your face out there sometimes. I know for a long time I was one of those type of people that I just like to work the background. I didn't want people to know it was me who was pulling the strings. I wanted to be the one in the background making the magic happen. And throughout life you learn that when you got something great, you have something great. And you can't hold that back from the people that need to see that greatness. Because you're not only holding yourself back, but you hold other people back as well that need to see and experience your talents and your gifts, the message that you have, the knowledge that you carry. All of that is needed. And so whenever you have something of value, you have to share it. You can't let it sit on the shelf. You have to share that with people because they're relying on it. You have to think there's some people that go through depression that need to be involved in some of these things that you have. They need to be included. They need to have that seat next to you in the process, which is why I do these videos. If you never see, if you want to be a graphic artist and you never experience this portion here, you never get to see this portion where a person has to go into depths with the details and all of that stuff. You will never know what it takes, and it has to be seen. The flop side, the pros and cons of all of it has to be seen. You gotta share that with people. Let's give it a little more. Oh, that's what it is. So I'm trying to shade with the hardness brush. So I'm just gonna knock the hardness down so I can get this to blend how I want it to blend. There we go. Anatomy plays a good part in getting your shading right. That could be a really tedious process when creating a light source, and shadows and all that type of stuff, and just knowing where to put the shadows. Sometimes it can be a not a not or a shadow that's not so realistic, but it still looks good because of how smooth you put it in there. And so that's all we're gonna create here. We're gonna create a whole bunch of different shadows and a whole bunch of dark spaces. We're just separating the light from the dark right now, and then later on we'll draw the shades of the details, things that we want to key in on. So the one thing to keep in mind, and is very important, is to know the storyline behind what you're creating, because that gives the detail and what you want to highlight. That'll further along that'll guide you in how you go about highlighting certain things. Like for this guy, the storyline of this guy is that it's end games, right? We're in the end time of all of this craziness, and this guy is powering up, right? This guy is setting the stage for his gifts and the things that he has to bring to the table. And so his message, is being displayed through this crystal ball. And this crystal ball will be, illuminated in a dark, gloomy setting. And it's going to bring light to the situation. So the things that I want to key in on with this drawing is the crystal ball, which is the light and the information, the power source, and his face. Not necessarily what he's wearing or what's going on in the background, but all of that stuff is relevant. It just doesn't. It's not on the high. It's not high on the hierarchy. So the things that we are trying to structure here are just based on those two elements: the information and who's bringing the information. So when you grasp the concept of how those two play a part, you know exactly what to highlight. Once you know what to highlight and you make it happen, it starts to come to life right in front of you. It's crazy how everything starts to come together. That there, we're drawing, adding a little small details here. We're still creating texture, and later on when we start to illuminate this thing, all of these small details will start to highlight, play a bigger part of the story. And like I said, all of the small things that I'm doing right now with the brush, it can be done faster, and it just depends on how fast you want to work your piece, how fast you want to work your art, how comfortable you are with putting in your details and things. Some of us like to take it slow. We like to see it happening, or some of us will come in with hard lines and really give everything a place and then draw in the details after. But like I say, it goes back to your style and what you're comfortable doing. So we are here with it. We'll bring this up so we can get a little more depth going. The beauty of these brushes is knowing how to manipulate the soft and hardness to get the proper shade that you need for the direction of darkness and light. Right there. Then also up in here. Right there. And I was looking at the video the other day, and I noticed how awkward the shape of his head was because I didn't put the proper darkness in here. But we're getting that whole thing together right now, and it'll come together and make sense. Just very important to know how to get that in there. How to display the shape using shadows. I even thought about putting some hair on them, you know. I'm a locks person myself, and it'd be nice to have this character to represent me. As I go through my journey, as I come out and try to accomplish something that I left on the table a while ago. You know, I really put this graphic design thing on hold, you know, way back 2013-ish. I stopped doing this, you know, and, you know, to pursue a military career and see if I can do something, you know, that would help me provide for my family. And like I say, you end up sacrificing some things, you know, and the idea is to just really find out what needs to be sacrificed. Sometimes nothing has to be sacrificed in order for you to get those results. You just got to show up, and it'll be given to you. But I mean, it's easier said than done, you know. It's easy to say, you know, to plan, and then to know and, you know, fail because you didn't see, you know, what was to come, or things didn't go out the way you planned. And so in life, we have a whole lot of that. Things don't go according to plan. But it's how you deal with it that makes the greater difference. When you start becoming who you want to become, you start remembering who you are spiritually, you know, you start to realize life doesn't operate how we think it does. The things that we end up doing to survive are not always necessary. You know, it becomes a reality, the things that we think we have to do because of fear. You know, I won't venture into this topic much because I know it's touchy. But, you know, for example, this shot that's going around, there's a lot of people getting this shot, you know, because of fear, you know. They have this fear. It's not because they have adequate, you know, information about it being useful and helpful. People are afraid. And so rather than deal with the fear, they take the easy way out. And the easy way that they think is, you know, the easy way is just going and following the rules, you know. Going and following giving in to the temptation. Yeah. And hold on just a second. All right, we back on here. Sorry, I had y'all muted the whole time. The whole time. Had them muted the whole time. I be forgetting to unmute the mic when kids start making a whole lot of noise. Is my sound, is it doubling up? Like, do I have a double echo or anything like that when I'm talking? Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Hey, you gotta work your crafts, man. No matter what you got going on, you gotta show the world what you got, you know. So in so many ways we're talented and we don't embrace it, you know. We just kind of go with what's what. All right, hold on just a second. How about now? I think I had the video in the back playing because I was trying to share it on the social medias. These systems is kind of funny though, man. The way the systems be coming together, sound be overlapping and latency be happening. But yeah, what's y'all perspective on growth um and what you think it take like for us to get where we need to get as a whole? Like what you think like what need to happen? Like do they need to stay away from each other, or you feel like we can come to some sort of intervention that could save this whole scenario of, you know, people on this planet just being different. So I would say it's like the vibes is kind of like hateful, you know. We have these hateful vibes. It's kind of killing emotion, man. Cause I mean, for a while I was tired of living. For a nice little while, I was tired of living. When I was going through my depressed phase in life, I found myself like just being tired. What's up, King? Yeah, I found myself being tired and just feeling like why live, you know? Why live if I gotta be around a bunch of hatred like this? I know it's a lot of people out there that feel like that, you know? And that's the thing that causes us to exit this world prematurely, you know, before our time. And so I'm just curious as to what y'all think about what needs to happen for life to get better as a whole. You see? It's a lot of building going on here. A lot of building. Building shadows. Bump that up. It's like I be trying to get this done faster, but I always end up falling back into, slowly peppering it in there. Slowly and steady. There's a whole area down here at the bottom that's going to be darker than everything else. It's the least bit of light down here. Down here too. Get this a little more of that. And down here. And of course the G's. You gotta love the retro ones. That's my favorite Jordan, y'all. So if y'all ever want to gift your boy something, y'all know where to start. I'm a fan of the retro ones, man. These things gonna be nasty looking when I get done with them. I'm probably gonna start up a whole nother trend with these things. People gonna see them, they gonna want them a pair. They gonna be like, dang, I'm sick, man. We need to bring that to life. We need that on the market. Let's see what we can do with these strings, though. Let's get the rotate going. All right, man. Squeaky wiggy. baby girl in there crying. And as usual, I didn't take note of the time, so I don't know how much time I've been doing this for. And that's a given. That is a given. Alright. So my goal is to influence those of you that have goals and dreams, things that you always wanted to accomplish, that you start getting to work on that now if you hadn't already started. And if you have started and you are working in it, but you're not sharing it with other people, I challenge you to share it with other people. Share it with other people. Not in the sense that you boast about it, but in the sense that you let it be known that that's what you do. And that if you're ready to reach the next level with that, if you're ready to provide a service in doing what you do, that people will see it and know who to come to, People will see it and know who to come to. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is that we are growing together. And in growing together, we got to support each other's businesses. We have to support each other's talents and just things that, we're all trying to do. Things you're trying to do for the community or, for your family, that you put it out there and let it be known so that you can get back on it. You can run into the support you need. And for the viewers that are, watching, if you see the value in the things that the people around you are sharing, please share their vision so that if you have a bigger platform or you have connections, that the people that are displaying this stuff can can benefit from your standing, from your position. I think that we play a big part in each other's growth. We play a big part in each other's success. The things that we all do together, that we display together is what's going to push us to the next level. It's going to elevate us, But we have to have the proper backing of each other, the support system. You have to have that support system. So be the support system of the people around you. The people the people you see with their businesses and people trying to reach the next level in their life. Ask yourself, how can I help? How can I help push that person to the next level? Let me share their videos. Let me plug their name in some of my content. That's how we help each other. That's how we grow together. People that do good for you and do good by you, they'll always be remembered for that. Whether you decide to, return the favor or not, that person will always be remembered for doing whatever it is they did. That's given if a person is grateful, though, too. There's a lot of people in this world that ain't grateful. When somebody plug their name or send them a shout out, they hit that thank you, they hit that like real quick, and then they forget about it. And the favor never gets returned. There are some people out there like that. But, not all people are like that. So I want y'all to treat it like that. You gotta give people the benefit of the doubt. I've always given people the benefit of the doubt. And when people wrong me, I don't get too disappointed. I let the universe handle that, because I know the universe is going to handle it. I'm a true believer in karma. I think that things that you do, it really does come back around. It really does come back around. So the energy, what I say is the energy that we are pushing out into this world is the same type of energy that we get back like 100-fold, and we might not realize that. We might not realize the energy is coming back to us in a sense, because it may come back in a different form. But we have to be careful how we step and how we move. And when we are in position to help somebody get to the next level, that we have to be that. You have to treat people how you want to be treated. Because essentially you are them. You're a reflection of everybody, in existence. We all share the same the common ground. And that common ground, and that's the reason why we all need each other to grow. Everybody needs somebody to grow. And if you want results that you don't have yet, you got to get around those people, that have those results. You have to. If you don't get around those people that have those results, then you can't grow. Can't grow. It's very few that make it, without being around the people they need to be around. But everybody is an influence on somebody's life. So when you see somebody doing good, you still can't totally rule out the idea that they was around somebody that said something that caused them to do something about their life and become who they are. And so we have to realize that some people that claim they came from nothing, and they started from the bottom and they made it, they had somebody in their ear. It was something that happened in their life that caused them to draw the conclusion that they had to do something about their situation. There's not one successful person that didn't get around somebody that knew how to get them where they needed to be, right? And so I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to understand that the people that are around you on a daily basis could be those people, and it may take you influencing them first for them to come out and be what you need them to be for you to get where you want to get. I think we all share the key. We share the key with each other. And so we need to be that. We all need to be that for each other. I wish there was more people in here talking about this with me. But it's like I get ones and twos at a time in here, and maybe it's good that it's more on a personal basis when people come in here, and I can kind of talk with them individually. But that's kind of like the vibe that I'm on right now. That's the vibe where I'm at. Is getting to a state where we all can grow from each other and benefit each other. And we all need that deeply, especially in this day and time. We all need to be in that area where we are reachable and accessible to each other. If each other needs anything, we shouldn't feel like we got our backs up against the wall and we ain't got a choice but to give in to something we don't believe in. It shouldn't get to that point. I feel like we get to that point because we're not utilizing our resources. We're not utilizing things, the people around us, And mainly because a lot of the people around us are not letting it be known that they're accessible for help. Like if you need anything, you can count on me. A lot of people don't have that person talking like that around them. And so that could be a problem too. But if you are in a state to help others, if you are, at a place in your life where you could add value to somebody, add that value. Apply the pressure where needed, because it's much needed. Y'all will hear me talk a lot about depression because, I was diagnosed with major depression. And I battled with that for years. And the whole time I didn't know I was depressed. You know, I didn't know that my state of mind was broken. And so my behaviors showed and displayed, you know, those type of behaviors, of one that, was going downwards in a downward spiral. But I didn't know this, you know. The people around me knew it. The people around me would be telling me, when we went out to go to a party or, go to the club, that I would get drunk, and then they didn't recognize me no more. I wasn't the same person. I didn't know this, that I was out of character. A lot of us is out of character. A lot of us go every day out of character, and we don't realize the people that we hurt or the people we disrespect. But and it comes a time where we have to face that reality. You have to face that reality that no matter what you do, you're always going to affect somebody's life. It may not be yours, not at the moment, but whoever you're around, whatever your objective is, whatever behaviors you're doing, you're affecting people. People's lives and well-being is in your hands if they're around you, if they're in your circle. So you have to be very careful. You have to be careful with how you carry yourself, even around other people, how you're carrying yourself, and what you're involving yourself in, and what your behavior is like when you get around the people that are so-called your friends and family members. Like, you got a standard to uphold. And so I encourage y'all to uphold that standard. Don't be part of the problem in other people's lives. Keeping drama going. Talking, gossiping, being a part of the hatred factor. Don't be a part of the hatred factor. You got a life just like anybody else in this world. You got a life. And you have to decide what you're going to do with yours. Just like they're deciding what they want to do with theirs, We all decide what we're going to do with our lives. And it's nobody else's responsibility except ours, what we do. So, whatever you're dealing with, make it what it needs to be. Make it what it needs to be, because your journey is not just your journey. Just like my journey wasn't my journey. It wasn't just my journey. And my ancestors' journey wasn't just their journey. Their journey is my journey. Because as I get older and I learn, things about my ancestors, I learned that I have ancient ancestors that are from high places. I'm learning all this. And so their journey is becoming a part of my journey through me awakening to who I really am. And them coaching me along the way. Sometimes we don't know who we are. And so we act out of character because we don't know. You know? You can't tell a kid to stay in a kid's place that don't know the difference between a kid and an adult. But when you know, you bring that awareness, you know, and you let it be known so that they can get it. They can understand that there's a difference. It's you, the doctor.
Yeah.
Let
me check your checkup.
Okay, you can check it later. I'm live, okay?
No, I need to do your checkup.
You gotta do it later because I'm live.
It's me, doctor. Do you see me?
You're gonna see me later when I get done.
Oh, come on.
You gotta see me later when I'm done. She trying to give me a checkup, see? Sometimes we don't allow people to get us the checkup. So sometimes we allow it to go down, you know. We don't do what we need to do with it sometimes. We don't allow people to help us when we need the help. And for the people that constantly try to help people and don't succeed, it's not your fault if people don't accept your proposal. Okay? So don't feel bad if people don't vibe with you. Don't feel bad if you know you don't hit your mark with people when you're trying to become something for them, when you're trying to give them advice, or you're trying to be a positive influence in their life, because they see it. They'll see it. They might not act on it, but you know, like even me, I tell you for an example. When I was younger, I used to have mentors and things like that, you know, through church. And even though I wasn't ready for some of the advice that was given, I still remember that, you know, and I can apply it today. Now that I'm aware, sometimes people aren't ready, but you still have to give them, you know, you still have to give them a little push here and there, you know. And it doesn't have to be in a, you know, very controlling way. It doesn't have to be in a controlling way. In a loving way is what I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for. Loving. And loving. In loving something, you are tending to yourself, right? You're finding yourself inside of that moment and applying love to that. If I'm speaking a little too cliche for some people, that's all right. There are people that watch that are not at that level, you know. And so I want you all to understand that when I do get on and do videos, you know, and when I get to talking about really simple stuff or stuff that you think is really simple, that there's people out there looking and watching that don't really think that that's simple. You know, there are people that watch that have never had somebody tell them that they loved them and actually showed it, you know. And we had to take consideration with that when looking at content and watching other people's videos and stuff like that, and wondering why, you know, people keep going back to the same ideas or same conversations. Is because it has to be said, you know. Some of these people are new to the videos and they may not have seen the previous video, where we go in on certain topics, and we might have to reiterate, what we talk about on multiple levels. You're gonna have to keep repeating yourself because not everybody got it the first time. But it can become a little draining for some people who watch every video or that watch all the time. But know that when you get in here and you hear the message, that maybe you hope that somebody caught the message like you did and are ready to move on to the next topic. You know, me and my specialty is in love. I've learned that my name means love and brave love. So it's my job to understand what love is and how to apply it. And in my experience, I've learned that it's a lot of us in the world that don't know how to love. We don't know the first thing about love. And it's challenging to me because I carry this title um, that a lot of people don't understand, because the way we've been taught about love is through in expression, right? We've been taught that love is like a physical thing. It's something that could be given, or you know, I mean, not given but earned. We feel like love could be earned, but love can't be earned. It's something that is given. It's a choice, right? And so it's a decision. It's not a choice. It's a decision. And when you treat it like a choice, it goes backwards on you. It backfires. We can't just go around choosing who we want to love and who we don't. We have to love all. In creation, the love was for all, or else it wouldn't have been created, right? Anything that was not loved wasn't created. Everything that exists, everything in eternity and in entirety, is based off love. But it has to have a separating background for there to even be an illusion of love, which would be negativity, which would be the things that a lot of us lack in our personal relationships, when we don't understand what love is. But love is something that you do, and it starts within self. If you can't love yourself, if you can't understand what you are and who you are in this world, then you can't even begin to love somebody. But it's in knowing that you have a place and a purpose in this world, and that you are in total acceptance of that reality. You're in total acceptance of the responsibility, and you start to love yourself, right? You start to love that you're here. You love that you have the opportunity. You start to be grateful for things around you. You start to be grateful for the opportunity to express to others love, and to share with them how they were made. You were made through love. A bunch of things had to come into an agreement that they were going to be together in order for you to be who you are. Like you look at cells and how cells bond to cells to create, or how atoms bond to atoms to create cells, and cells, all of these different organisms come together to create you. And so all of these entities had to come together in agreement in order for you to have the skin tone that you have, in order for you to have the color of the eyes, and your personality, in order for you to be a certain height, your fingers, toes, all of that stuff. It's all precise calculations, and it couldn't happen if your body wasn't in total agreement with each other. Everything in your being had to agree and had to come to a loving point, that you are going to be this. You are going to be a male. You are going to be a female. You are going to have this many kids. You know what I'm saying? The universe agreed upon you and your existence in this time. And so you have to accept that as well. And once you accept that, that means love. Who we got on here? Yep.
Dad, can I see you?
In a minute.
Dad, can I see you?
In a minute.
Can I see you?
Hold on.
Daddy, can you hear me? Can I see you?
All right, who that is? Is that your baby?
Daddy, why you don't want to listen to me? I said, can I see you?
Hey, I was trying to.
Daddy, I said, can I see you? I don't see you.
You just wanted to see me? What you want to see me do?
Dre!
Now you're going to call Dre Dre back here? Look, but I need y'all to be quiet, though, because I'm on here talking.
Come here. The door is open. Don't open it.
Hey, but it's gonna be closed soon. It's gonna be closed soon. I just wanted y'all to see me real quick, so y'all can stop making all this noise. Don't whip it up, cause it's on live. What y'all in there doing?
I wanted to see you.
Okay. And so what you doing in there?
Hello, Daddy.
What's up, Dre Dre?
Hello. Daddy, from here.
You can see me from here.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you see me from here too? Yeah.
So what y'all trying to do?
Deal.
Y'all trying to do what?
Deal.
What you trying to see?
You.
You trying to see me?
Yeah.
And then what? Okay, so you saw me, now what?
Go up here.
No, you can't go up there.
Why?
Because you're gonna make everything shake.
Don't see me from here.
You can see your hair. Hey, don't move this because they can't see. If you move that, they can't see. See what I'm saying?
I'm right here. Why you right here?
Don't be so loud, okay?
Okay.
All right. You going out now?
Mm.
You gonna close my door for me?
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. All right. I guess they just had to check on me, make sure that I wasn't in here doing nothing I wasn't supposed to be doing.
I need to come in.
Ah,
Hello.
now they back. They want to come back now.
I need to come in.
Yeah.
No.
Hold on. Hold on. Never ending, y'all. Never ending things that I deal with as a parent. Mm-hmm. So, for those of you that didn't know, this is my talent. This is one of them, at least, and I have gone years with this talent on the shelf because I felt like I needed to pursue other things in order to provide for my family. And lo and behold, I was doing things, that I didn't love to do. I was doing things that I didn't care to do. And when you end up in those environments, it just fuels the fire to depression, right? You're setting up your own death sentence when you go into fields that you don't enjoy going into, you know, especially if there are other people's lives on the line. You know, if you're not passionate about work, you know, don't do it. Don't do it. Like, find what you like to do and get in that field. Don't waste your life away trying to chase the money, because it's not worth it in the end. And once your number get called to come to leave this world, are you satisfied? You know, that's what it comes down to. Are you satisfied? And what did you give back to other people? You know, what love did you show? Did you display to other people? Send some waves out. Mm. Life is all about that love, though. It's all about that love. Love is how you come into the knowledge of who you are. It says so much about you when you can love unconditionally. You've arrived to the place of peace, you know. You've arrived to that place where you need to be. But unconditional love is natural and it makes sense. For a while, love didn't make sense to me. And the reason why love didn't make sense to me was because whoopings existed back when I was a kid, right? I got whoopings for being an explorer, for my curiosity. Whoopings. Anytime I cut up, whoopings. And whoopings can do one of two things. Whoopings can make a person stronger, or it can break a person. And for kids that know what love is, or know what love should look like at a young age, it's confusing. You can't whoop a child who understands what love is and expect them to, you know, expect them to understand what's going on, what's happening. Because kids don't think that way. But what it does is it scars them. You carry these scars around as adults. You know, it's a slave mentality to beat somebody into submission. And we don't realize that. You know, as adults, we don't realize that we do it because that's the way things were, right? That's the way things were handed down to us. We was beat, so we beat our children, you know? And that cycle goes and goes. But also, the needing of beating is happening because of society, right? So if society wasn't the way it is, if the messages that kids see today weren't put out there so in the open, kids they wouldn't have the urge to do the things that they do that would cause you to feel like you need to spank them, you know, or need to beat them. I think, you know, that it's like there's so much wrong with the world today that it's very hard to decipher the right way to do things, the right way to communicate, you know, because the system is so broken. And it has gone so long, so broken, that it's going to take a lot of work to correct. When I say a lot of work, it takes a lot of work to correct. It takes a lot of patience, and a lot of us are running out of patience. As time goes on, we're running out of patience. That patience just is not there, especially for parents that are single. That patience is not there. So the patience ain't there, the love ain't there, because most of those parents, they regret even going down the road and having a child. You know, they regret those things. So if you're gonna regret those things, you're reverting back away from love, right? You're reverting back away from where you need to be. Um, but we need to press forward. You need to keep on pressing. The idea of love, the idea that you are becoming who you need to become, so you can be who you need to be for other people, for your children, for your family members, the people around you that may not understand where you're going in your life or what you're dealing with. Because most people, they just see you from the outside. They see a couple posts or pictures, and they judge where they think you are, but they never conversate with you. This is how we have life messed up, and we lose connection with each other because we're not communicating. We don't communicate. We don't talk. We think because we like a post or we like a picture on somebody's profile that we've communicated, that we in good standing with each other. When we don't talk, we never say hi to each other. We never catch up and check on each other in a traditional sense, in a conversation, to know what's going on with this person, what's going on with that person. And so we don't have these love checks. We need to have these love checks where you checking on somebody, you making sure they love themselves. When you check on people, you're making sure that they love themselves. They in the right standing when it comes to that perspective, because we all know we cannot grow without love. This is fact. We cannot grow without love. Hatred will not grow you. Disappointment would not grow you. Being insecure would not grow you. Only love could do those things. So we gotta reach that bottom line. We gotta reach the bottom line. Mm-hmm. There we go. All right. I think I worked around this enough to where I want to start putting some colors in. Give people a little more to look at too. I know there's just people just popping in and they just see me working through the little small areas. No lighting. Probably don't understand what's going on or what I'm talking about. To come in the middle of the conversation, I'm like, what is this man talking about? What is he saying? But conversation is much needed, especially those about common sense, so-called common sense. There's really no such thing as common sense, because a lot of people don't have the common common thoughts, common thinking. Everybody thinks differently. That's why it can't be common. Sometimes I feel like they really got over on us with this language. Things that we kind of accept as some sort of reality is really stupid, and it doesn't really do much for us. Like, we can only express ourselves so much to where we're hindered. We're hindered in the growth of expression because of lack of words or lack of meaning, lack of connection with the words. You know, like, if you look at any other culture, you could hear the passion in the conversation in those languages. Like they connect with those languages. Like they have this deep connection. Like they are proud to talk the language. You know what I'm saying? And we've made, darker people. We have made, our language. You know what I'm saying, with slang and all that stuff. But we really don't have that strong connection with the language. We don't have that. And it shows. It shows. It really does show. But it's like something missing. Like you got to go into some. We got to go into syllables. That's why when meditating, you got to go into the syllables because the words just don't cut it. This ain't the right language to get the point across spiritually. You know, you can only do so much with it. It's a limited language because a lot of it is backwards words and a whole bunch of confusion that we don't think about. The ways we start talking, like as I talk, I have to kind of choose my words because I know that some of the words are just undoing what I'm trying to do. Like trying. Trying is one of those words that we all get caught up in using. Even myself, I still end up using it too, even though I know the history of trying. It doesn't have a firm backing. Doing is a little different. So once we start using the right language, man, we can kind of reach another level with it. That level is missing with this language. It's missing. All right, let's do something else now. Come on. You know what? Let's go up here and save this. Because I'm feeling like this is going to bite me. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh, I think I got a freeze. Alright, I'm going to have to freeze out of this real quick and come back and see. Squiggy wiggy. Oh, there we go. Boy. Yeah, I really put enough memory out there that this thing start lagging on me. We don't want that to happen again. Usually I'm pretty good with saving my work. But sometimes you forget and your system crash on you. Then you be sad. Super sad. I'm glad I got the save out. This is not cooperating with me. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Let's go on and drop it out and bring it back and see what happens. Cause that was so late right there. So let's close this down. And no, I don't want that. And let's reopen it. All right. Oh, we getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. I'm liking the way that this is going. Um, yeah, we had to bounce up out of that thing and come back, man. It was acting weird on us. Like it ain't want us to succeed or something. You dig? We can't have that. We gotta be able to succeed up in this thing. Let me see. Let me get my black up in here. I thought I was ready for this shading to be done, but there's a lot of work to be done still here. Let's go and get the black. Boost that up right there. Right. So in these concept art drawings, fashion is one of those things that's really big, right? The things that we look for in design, how it evolves around fashion. And so when you got the right elements inside of your paintings, as far as fashion, man, you can really push. You can really push a painting to go far when you have the right conditions. The right conditions, by right conditions, I mean having the right look to fashion, depending on the era that you're drawing for. So whatever that area is, you know, being able to draw into that area and express, make a connection with the viewer and the timeline is essential. It's like something that has to happen in order for it to be believable, you know. Sometimes it's not believable. It'll look good, but it's not believable. And so we have to draw that. We have to draw that resemblance. Yeah, I want to chop this in a little bit. Let me look out at this. Yeah. We're gonna go there. I think I'd be satisfied with this cut. And they're cutting up again. And they're cutting up. I feel I'm gonna have to get out this thing soon. Because they doing a little too much out there. What up, what up, what up? What y'all into? What y'all vibing like? I'm just on here live while I'm doing some work because I wanna vibe with my peoples, you know? I like to have people to talk to while I'm getting busy. While I'm working some stuff out. That's what I'm working on. Working up some concepts for some end game type stuff, you know? Just getting back to my roots. You know, getting back to what I used to do when I was young. Some old goals and dreams I just left on the table that I need to go back and reassess, you know. What's up, my guy? Oh yeah, I gotta work. We got to. I was on here dropping a little knowledge earlier about how we lose ourselves, you know. How we drop the ball on ourselves by not letting our talents be known, even if we're not gonna do nothing with it. Like just being accessible to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like put what you do out there. Like you do music, you know. Like put your music in front of everybody, no matter what they think or what you think they're gonna think about it. Like you gotta show your presence. You know what I'm saying? Like I think people around us don't elevate because we not pushing. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of people that just go based off of jealousy. You know what I'm saying? To be moving with jealousy, and we don't correct it. We correct that in the wrong way. We correct it out of anger rather than out of love. You know. So we lose people, man. We lose people that's supposed to be in our circle, that's supposed to be growing with us. You know, rather than them elevating up with us. And so this was just one of them things that I put on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? And I've been sitting on it for a nice little while. I haven't did nothing with it. You know, just allowing life to destroy my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Working jobs that I don't even like. You know, going and making other people rich and not working on none of my talents. You know what I'm saying? Not working on nothing that I have to give back to the world. And we all fall victim to that, you know. We fall victim to that big time. We'll be like sleeping on ourselves, sleeping on our talents, sleeping on things that, you know what I'm saying, that could be making millions. But we ain't doing nothing with it. It's because we feel like we ain't got the backing, we ain't got the surrounding, you know. But I was saying, like, how people that are around you, some of those people are the people that's gonna get you to the next level. But you gotta get them to where they need to be first too, you know? Like essentially we need each other to get to the next level. But we don't look at it like that. A lot of people look at it like a race. There's a lot of people out here moving for themselves. They don't care. They don't care who they step on to get there. But it's like a teamwork effort. It's got to be a teamwork effort. You know, it's got to be people sharing each other's stuff. It's got to be, you know, that platform has to be used to elevate the people around you in order for everybody to become who they need to become. Yep. And that's it. That's the biggest problem too, is that the people that you need to believe in you are the people that don't believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't understand that they need each other to make it. You know, like one voice is just that. It's just one voice. But 10 voices talking the same way, talking the same lingo, it's unstoppable, bro. Unstoppable when you got a network. When you got like when you got everybody on your side, you know what I'm saying? When people know how you trying to move and they go, all right, we got you this week. What's on your agenda this week? And we all gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody show up to your event, and then whoever else got something going. You know, whether it be like a art gallery or you know what I'm saying, they got a food truck or something. They gonna be opening up a food truck and they gonna be on this corner, you know, this day or whatever. You know, pull up. You know what I'm saying? Pull up for your people, and that's the big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like just pull up. Like even if you ain't vibing with them, you know what I'm saying? The people around you is gonna be the people that support you in the direction where you need to go, and with you growing. If they vibing with you, they gonna start growing too. You know what I'm saying? They can't help but to grow. But it's when, you know, like I was saying earlier, you weren't on the video earlier, but I was saying how Cat Williams was talking about in one of his jokes how if you got this many haters, you need to be working on how you're gonna get to this amount of haters. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's funny, but it's not realistic. I say people that hate on each other, they hate on each other because they don't love themselves for what they can do. You know what I'm saying? So if they can't love themselves, then they're not gonna be able to help nobody get on the next level. So we need to squash the hate. We need to squash the hate. We need to find out how we can get back to loving ourselves enough to where we can support other people willingly, openly. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no soft stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't have to come to. It shouldn't have to be like one of them things, you know, where it's a macho thing, or it's a I'm better than you type of thing. When we dealing with the people that we grow up with, you know, the people in our neighborhoods, all of that. You know, and somehow we still end up fighting amongst each other in our communities. And it's the wrong way, it's the wrong look. But it's like if everybody in the community showed up for everybody's stuff, whatever it was that they was providing, that we would be on top, bro. Like big time, we'd be on top. Like if everybody came out to your shows and if everybody supported your CDs, whenever you dropped a CD, if everybody supported you, they would have benefited from that. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Like if you was participating in other people's stuff that was around you, they would benefit from that and you would benefit from that too. It's the network within the network. Like we gotta learn how to utilize the network, you know. And it's like a lot of people out here that ain't doing it because they're going based off of they not interested, you know. Like a lot of people are not on this live right now. A lot of people jumped in, they looked at what I was doing, they jumped out, right? They jumped out because they're not interested in art, you know, or maybe they didn't have the time to let the camera roll. But just the presence of them coming in and giving a view was in a way it helped me in a way, you know what I'm saying? It helped my platform because that's an extra view. But it's like stuff like that, like just sharing, you know, sharing somebody's work or plugging somebody's name on the platform, you know, and drawing light to somebody else. Those type of things help us grow as a whole, not just one person. And then we got to be able to return those favors. You dig? When we get the hand, when somebody throw us the alley hoop, we got to know how to throw that boy back. When the time comes, we got to throw that boy back, so everybody can eat equally, you know. But this world be having like people so afraid. They be so afraid to do what they need to do. You know, so afraid to support each other's work. You know, like they be trying to compete with each other. You know, instead of like just competing with themselves, like running their own race. Run your race. So I encourage you, my guy. You gotta run your race, man. And then running your race, you know, pick whoever you can up to, and love on them, man. Love on them in the way that you want people to love you. You know, like start researching what love is, what it means, and it starts with the self. It starts with whatever you doing that you enjoy doing, and whatever you love doing. You know what I'm saying? Cause we all got things that we enjoy doing, and when we doing them things, nothing even matters. Like when I'm doing this, it don't need nothing else matters, man. When I'm sketching or when I'm just talking to people, I love I love passing down knowledge, you know. And if I can help in any way, man, I'm happy with that. But sometimes it be feeling like it ain't enough, you know. I be talking on here, but people still be going through what they be going through. It's like you can't stop them from going through what they going through, but you can kind of carry the weight. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can carry the weight. You can save a life just by talking, or just by showing somebody your talent. And it might give them some hope when they hear your story, when they hear your testimony. They hear where you came from. You know, some people they like to look from the outside. They see a lot of people that got it, going for themselves, and they don't realize how much people had to go through to get there. And so it just becomes like a jealousy thing right off the back. It's like, my guy, if you went through what I went through, you wouldn't want this. You know what I'm saying? If you had to endure the pain, the struggle, the lonely nights, the tears, you know what I'm saying? The suicidal thoughts, all of that, if you dealt with any of that, you wouldn't want what I have. You know? But people don't see that. People have to see that in order to bring reality to what they trying to do. They have to see. They have to see the backstory. And that's how we draw those connections. There's a lot of people out in the world that feel alone and feel like people don't understand what they go through. But we do. It's people out here that understand. You know what I'm saying? Alright, my guy. I appreciate you coming through here, man. I appreciate you stopping by and vibing with me. It's most definitely appreciated, man. Elevation of love, my guy. Alright, I did a lot of highlights down here. It's a lot of work, y'all. A lot of work.
Dad,
Yep,
I can't find my apple juice.
some apple juice.
I said I can't find my apple juice.
What happened to your apple juice?
I can't find it. It was right in there. Now it's gone.
Oh, man. Did mama get rid of it? Some different textures up in this thing, man. I'm trying to get there. I be feeling like you be plucking away at pictures like this. You be plucking away at them, and it just be taking so long to formulate. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be patient. Art will teach you patience. On the real, it will teach you some patience. Cause sometimes you just can't. You can't. You can't rush. The process. This is with life too, man. You just can't rush the process. Sometimes you be trying to do something, and it just won't be the right time, like real time. But you still gotta get yourself out there. You still have to make yourself accessible, so to speak. Let it be known that what you got is what you got. But sometimes, if it don't work, you don't trip. We don't trip. We keep pushing. We keep elevating. We keep on going. So a lot of this shading that I'm doing, it probably ain't gonna matter on this inside area. because once I drop it down to nighttime, the visibility of all of this is gonna go down. So let's see. So I had this. This is the original background. Let me pull back. Come on. This is. I keep running into this problem with this. As soon as I get here with it. Maybe it's the short key I'm using. I keep running into the same issue with this thing. Come on. Let me pull back out of here. Maybe I got too much going on at one time. But I am running live stream on 1080p, so that could make a greater deal on what I got going on with this thing. But it be having to catch up sometimes too. Hit the V on them. What's going up here? See if we can get this thing to save again. Shoot. Alright. Squeaky wiggy. Get the whole big